Welcome everybody to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. Our next live show is Thursday, October 25th at the Ha Ha Cafe in Hollywood. For tickets to that show, or any of our future shows, please check out our website, comedypopup.la.com. All right, let's start the show.
All right, what's up, yo? Welcome to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Antonio, sitting in studio, and we got a very special guest for you guys today. You've seen this dude on Black Jesus on Adult Swim. He's also on the new Kevin Hart Presents The Next Level, The Pride of Chicago. Please welcome Ray Grady.
What's up with it? What's up, people?
What up, man?
What's up, Paul?
Thank you for coming into the studio.
Nah, thank you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. We got another guest running late, but we'll see if he shows up.
Yeah, he might show up.
We ain't going to shout out who it is, so we'll say. But, yo, man, I enjoyed that Next Level.
Okay.
Kevin Hart stuff.
Appreciate it.
Man, but you said you were talking to Kevin Hart about something that just like clicked in me. And I was like, all right, cool.
Let's see.
So you talk about having this alpha male mentality when it comes to stuff, man. And I feel like we're kind of lacking that. Well, we absolutely are lacking that nowadays, you know, like how things were different. Like how my dad was a Marine, you know? So
alpha.
So when he raised me, he raised me, like, don't be a little bitch.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know, that was like how he pushed. But I feel like now everybody's like, no, don't spank your kids. Don't do any of that stuff. Like very, very soft now. Yeah. So my question to you is,
go ahead.
Do you think that new male comics should embrace that alpha male mentality?
It's not about the comics, you know what I'm saying? I just think it's just men in general that because once we're taught to right now, everything is so politically correct.
Yeah.
And that dulls opinion. It hurts art. And the truth of having a tough dialogue is going to offend anybody that's not, quote, they're not strong within themselves. They don't have that actual self-esteem that's, I don't want to say we're supposed to have it, but you're supposed to have an opinion. If you feel strongly about something, then who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Long as you're not hurt. Here's the difference. You don't have to say, I don't like gay people. You don't have to say that.
Yeah.
Okay? If that's not your thing, because remember, that's someone's behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sexual shit is someone's behavior. That ain't got nothing to do with if me and you, Paul, we both cool. But if I like the Bulls and you like the Padres, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm into and that's what you're into. That's that.
Yeah.
So if you say, I don't like the Bulls because of this, and I say, well, I ain't never heard of the Padres until, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
So I just think most of the time we want to fit in because they think money comes along with it. A lot of artists feel like, well, let me have a gay friend. Like, nah, they people.
Yeah.
I went to culinary school. There was a bunch of gay niggas in there with me.
Yeah.
I went to culinary school August 4th, 1994. I graduated high school June 8th, 1994. All of these chefs was sweet.
Yeah.
All of them. Every last one of them was sweet. Even the students, 90% of them was from third world countries and they was gay.
Yeah.
This 1994.
Yeah.
This 1994 when everything was under the table. You didn't even know this nigga was gay. You be like, oh, okay, he cool.
Yeah.
John and this guy out here, Libby and all. Everybody was like, what's up, man? You know?
Yeah.
So I just think that just me being a comic, I just want to have a different take on stand-up. I just felt like everybody just sounds the same. I don't give a fuck about the political situation.
Yeah. And I mean, you hear this term like getting passed around as like toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like that's just a term to bring people down from like, you know, they tell you how much like to be you, but then after a while it's like, no, change for what we want.
Yeah, because they want you outside of the box at first until they feel like they can control it because they feel like you want what they have, which is the actual outlet.
Yeah.
And there's no outlet.
And I wonder how much of it is fake, man. Like how much of these dudes that like call themselves feminists that are just out there like actually trying to get pussy. You know? They're not out there trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm an ally or whatever.
Yeah. I put it to you like this, man. Most of the time, comics, well, I should say the new comedians. Most of the new comedians don't really know what it takes to be a comic. Okay? You can watch stand-up on YouTube now, and then go someplace that don't nobody know that person's joke and throw this lie out there, and then you actually see the dude or the guy who material that you stole from is in the room, and he's like, yo, I did that joke, such and such. Then the lie is, I ain't never heard of you.
Yeah.
So you just thought you should be a comedian?
Yeah.
Now?
And even is like it's funny you mentioned that because like one of your jokes that I love is that the banana eating joke, right? That guys should not how guys should eat a banana in public. But that joke has been turned into this meme. Like there's a new level of like joke thievery going on, which is these memes, right? Where people just kind of rip it. So we were talking about that video, and I actually saw that video earlier of the guy kind of like how he was eating the banana and stuff. It's like
at his office.
Yeah.
I mean, at his cubicle.
At his cubicle.
So a lot of the people that know my material, the weird shit about social media now is that you can share it. You know, you can be like, oh, this dude doing Paul joke. And I'll be like, yo, Paul, check this out. And then you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he was stealing it. I think he was just, he might have saw me.
Yeah.
Would he ever tell the masses? Probably not.
No. Yeah.
Probably because I've never met him. You know what I'm saying? But you don't think like that on your own unless you felt like that was something that had to impute that thought at that particular moment. You know what I'm saying? So by me being, television is everything. Everybody wants to be a celebrity now. It's funny. My fans also have fans.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
See, I talk different shit than most comedians because of I give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So with this whole social media thing, and a lot of the folks that saw the guy that break off the actual piece of banana and he shook, I thought it was funny. I didn't do that part. How men should eat bananas. Yeah. Would he ever tell the people if he never met me? Probably not. Or then again, he might be like, I saw Grady do it. This comedian out of Chicago. He was on Comedy Central. Comedy is hot because Kevin Hart is the top nigga. So people gonna be like, oh, Kevin Hart. And then a nigga see your show. Yeah. And then be like, oh shit. Let me see. And let me see. And then be like, yo, that's dope. Yeah. Let me see, how can I make that funny? Yeah. And so what was dope about the idea, he was at work. Right? And he's supposed to be working, and he's 5 minutes of fame, 15 seconds of fame, whatever, however long the clip was. I thought it was genius. To whatever his name is, I thought it was genius. But people that follow Grady, the people that are fans of my material, they shared the clip. They shared the clip. I was like, because at first I was checking back like, what the fuck is they doing? Like, I didn't even get it at first. I'm like, what are they doing? And then my manager called. She was like, yo, check out your page. I was like, yeah, I'm looking at it. What you think? She was like, yo, people paying homage to you.
Or inspired, right?
People paying homage to you, Well,
because that's that new thing, and like how culture is now, especially the comedy culture and this social media culture, everything's instant. Yeah. And it's like, if you're not posting new content every day, then they feel like they're going to be irrelevant or they're not going to blow up the way.
Yeah. I try not to pay attention to that bullshit because I think most of the time people want, this is right now, the climate needs funny. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, whether this quote toxic masculinity is thrown around, whatever that shit means, you're gonna die boring. You're gonna die boring life, lonely, giving a fuck. Everybody's being so offended. You know what I'm saying? So remember we used to talk about, I don't know how old you are, but back in the day, people used to talk about fat people. It was the funniest shit ever. Like, yo, fat ass. It's just yo, fat ass. That's it. You don't say he should be brutally murdered. You just your fat ass up. And that's, as a kid in the 80s, man, we thought that shit was hilarious. Yeah. Like one joke, one of the classmates, this motherfucker said, your mama remember the your mama joke shit, right? So in Chicago, they used to do the your mama jokes, and I went to Foster Park Elementary School. And the funny shit I ever heard, dude, this motherfucker said, he said, your mama's so fat, No, he said your mama's so dumb. She bought a donut from Dunkin' Donuts and gave it back because it had a hole in it. Now that wasn't funny.
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
motherfucker said, I can't say his name, but my classmate was like,
Pay homage to him.
Right?
There you go.
my man said, your mama's so fat every time she jump in the air, she gets stuck. Brilliant. I was like, yo, what in the fuck? We 12 years old talking like that. I'm like, yo, this nigga's a genius.
Yeah.
Like, you jump in the air and you get, oh man. I was like, what in the fuck? So ever since then, I was just like, okay. And so now, we can't even have fun.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, and tell me if you agree with this,
Cool.
but it's about like, everybody's looking for that safe space.
Okay.
They're like, oh, I want a safe space. But to me, like old school was like, you created your own safe space. You made that for you. Like you toughened up or you made yourself, putting yourself in situations that you wouldn't be sensitive to it. But now it's like, no, you got to do that for me.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why like these Yo Mama jokes are fun. But then now it's a controversy.
Well, it's almost like, let's just say it. Let's just say something that's probably going to offend a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But we're comics.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sensitive, we're going to offend you anyway.
Yeah.
Social media was created by a pussy.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah. What makes you say that?
He was never liked. You could, when they call it cyberbullying, I've never heard of no shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
Like if it's a bunch of people that don't like my material.
Mm-hmm.
If they comment on my page, I'm Instagramming live now. If a motherfucker don't like what I'm saying, he's not gonna have that same fucking energy if he see me.
No, 100%. 100%.
So,
that's true.
Unless he got a group of white boys that's with him that's got chains and they thinking we finna go back to none of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
None of that shit. I'm going home that same fucking day. And whoever got a beef with it, he got to pursue it to the fullest. So a pussy nigga he just felt like, let me create my voice because I wasn't popular in high school.
Mm-hmm.
The girls didn't like me. The popular guys didn't want to be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So let me create this. And then if it's almost like you throwing stones at a motherfucker and they can't fight you back.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's like a fake world. And I mean, you hide behind your username.
Yeah,
that's the one
there
that they
you
say.
go. Yeah.
You hide behind your username, and all of a sudden you're fighting with these guys who don't even got a profile picture of themselves.
Some of them do.
Some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's you just have to. I use social media to market and promote. If I want to promote Black wellness, I will do that. If I want to promote a lynching, if it's uncomfortable for you, you're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You got to feel it. You got to feel like, yo, everybody always talk this, the Holocaust this and the Jews were this and all these bad things that happened. And then the reason why the Holocaust was so hurtful to people when they just opened their hearts up is because it was filmed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Slavery wasn't fucking filmed.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Okay, so when niggas go bowling, I be like, I don't bowl, nigga. You know what bowling is? They used to bury us in the ground up until our necks and roll the cannonballs at us. That's where bowling comes from. Dumb niggas don't know that.
I didn't know that.
See, I'm not saying you dumb.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand.
Yeah. 100%.
So I just think that when they do this social media shit, I just use it to promote and market. You know what I mean? Whether Black wellness, my funny, or someone else's funny, or just, hey, I'm just a flyer. You know what I'm saying? I just, I don't take it too serious because like I stick to this. You're not that tough. When we get off the stage, so let's say so somebody might call you a white boy or whatever, and they say some racial slur to you and they be like, okay, he's a comedian. And they be like, yo, Paul beat the brakes off this nigga. And they like, Paul wrong.
Mm-hmm.
No, why is Paul wrong?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know that man's history. You don't know if his mother or father, you don't know nothing about this dude. Mm-hmm. And if this dude is saying like, look, I went through dealing with a mother that was not there, or she was in a mental institution, or she was schizophrenic. My daddy raised me. Me and my dad had, my dad just wanted nothing but protein. Meats and anything that can put meat on your bones, right? So you saying, Grady, I know what beans look like. I know what corn look like. You know what I'm saying? And even though corn, we can't even digest corn.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's a staple in the, I don't know what kind of community, the Hispanic diet.
Yeah, Hispanic all the way down back to Native American. You know, it's a Native
Corn,
American
and you can't
diet.
even digest the shit. It looks the same way when you ate it, right? And then when it come out your bowel system, you're like, that motherfucker, that's corn.
It looks the same after that Chipotle bowl. It's the same thing in the toilet.
So I just think that, people they get so caught up in this, my feelings. You offended me. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You don't want to fight over it, do you?
Yeah.
All right then. Shut up then.
You know what bummed me out the most?
Go ahead.
So I was just doing an open mic.
Okay.
Just an open mic. And you work on, obviously, you just work and stuff. And I had a joke about, so I drive for Lyft, right? Like just giving rides and stuff. And they talk about, I said, Lyft has been working better for me than Tinder. I said something about being able to lock my car doors, but really been spiking my numbers. It's just it's a dumb little joke, right? It's dumb. Girl in the audience yells out.
Shit.
She yells out, "That's a nice rape joke." Like that, right? Just made everything awkward, whatever. And I was like, oh, whatever. This person just was offended, whatever.
What color was she?
She was a white girl. She was a white girl.
See?
So then get off stage, whatever. They call her up. I was like, she's a comic? She's a comic. And she thought like that. Yeah. Because there's this new wave of this counterculture, against the patriarchy kind of deal. So she goes up, and I remember another comic had gone on stage and talked about oh, my ex, she hurt me, blah, 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 was making it into a joke and stuff. So she goes up on stage, she's like, I just want to say, I'm thankful that girl hurt that guy. She's like, it's about time. That's 1 point for us. And I'm like, and this is a comic, yo.
Wow.
I was like, you're right away alienating 50% of your audience, at least.
Dumb. Yeah, that's dumb.
At least. But that hurt because I was like, yo, when it's getting to the point where comics are, and I'm in this room a lot. We're at the CPU studios in K-Town. Yeah. And there's so many shows that record out of here. And I'm the audio engineer on most of them.
Okay.
So I hear these guys just talk.
Okay.
So many female comics and stuff come in and they're just spewing hate, hate about men and stuff like that. And I'm like, you're kind of missing the point. It's good to hate the evil people, Okay. It's good to go after people who are stop rapists from raping, right? But it's when they bring up stop men from raping, it's now you're pissing off all the guys who aren't rapists. Yeah. Because then you're calling, but it's that's kind of the new wave of comedy. They call it, what do they call it? Post-comedy.
That's what they call it?
That's what they call it, post-comedy. It's
and who is the they? I just want to know. Who's the
they? It's just a popular term that's going on social media. A lot of these are Vulture and a lot of these online publications are saying this, but it's because they ran with. So did you see Drew Michael's special?
Drew Michael.
The special was Gerard.
On Netflix?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Okay.
So he did his special, and obviously he was trying to be innovative, but he did a comedy special with no audience. No audience. Because his point was, my audience is at home, which I'm like, yo, either kudos to you for that timing.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. So he did that.
No audience.
No audience.
What did he do it at? I'm just curious.
I don't know where he did it. Not a
theater, but what did he do?
No, it was an intimate venue. Let me pull up a picture.
Get the fuck out.
But it was a small one. Man. But so they lumped that
post comedy. Look, Natasha Cooper said post comedy. So on my laughs, I ain't never heard of it, Miss Cooper. I ain't never heard of this shit. I just
post comedy, which is so they lumped that in, and then they lumped in Nanette, that Hannah Gadsby special, because they said, and Nanette's biggest thing was, if you're a comic and all you're doing is making them laugh, get out of the industry.
Who?
This girl, Hannah Gadsby, right? The one who did Nanette. That's that special that blew up. The one about, man, I don't want to mess up where she's from, New Zealand or something.
She said, if you making them laugh, get out.
Basically what her point is, if you're not doing comedy for a higher purpose, get out of comedy.
what's the purpose? I'm not saying that she's full of shit. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. So what she's basically saying is like you, Grady, if you're going up there and you're just telling jokes,
Yes, sir.
and your jokes aren't pushing a something, right? If it's like not like black empowerment or something that's like that you really fully believe in, if it's
Okay.
not pushing that, then you shouldn't be doing comedy. So if you're just going up there to make people laugh, which is an interesting concept, but at the same time, and if you watch her special was a great one-woman show, but I wouldn't call it a comedy special.
You wouldn't call it. And what's the broad name?
No, Hannah Gadsby.
Hannah Gadsby, and it's
Yeah.
on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, and the net. It blew up. And so this kind of
Gatsby.
launched that.
GATSBY.
GADSBY.
Okay, GAD.
Yeah,
Gatsby.
yeah.
Okay,
Gatsby,
Annette.
yeah.
I'm gonna look. Hey, y'all. Hey, my people that's paying attention. Look up Annette.
Nanette.
Nanette.
Yeah, like with an N in the beginning.
Nanette Gadsby. GADSBY. Y'all tell
Yeah.
me what this sister's talking
So
about.
it's basically like, so she's a lesbian comic and it's like a one-woman show and she's talking about getting sexually assaulted and stuff, but she goes into detail about like getting raped. And it's like, she's out here like, this is my story, blah, 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 but she's passing it off as a comedy special. But the thing that I don't like is when people try to say what comedy is, you know? Because comedy is different from person to person.
Yeah, comedy is all subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective. It's an art. It's like Drew Michaels did his thing and people could hate on it or do whatever. Oh, that's not comedy. There was no audience. That's his art. You know, let him do his art. But it's like for this girl to come out and be like, you know, well, this is what comedy is. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, did you see that guy at
Holy shit.
at Just for Laughs? He did the Variety top whatever 10 comics
What's
to watch.
his name? No, I don't. I haven't done the Just for Laugh shit. The first time I did it was 2009, and then the next time I did it was 2010.
Okay.
2011. I'm sorry.
So this guy was like an Instagram star. He went by Southern Mama. I forgot his real name, and I'll look up his real name right now.
Southern Mama.
Southern Mama. So he had a character on Instagram.
This a dude
is a dude
dressed like a broad.
dressed like a bro, but not on stage. On Instagram, dressed like I'm saying, like this is my Southern Mama. You know, which has been done before, like not in that way, but like people, you know, they've done similar stuff to that. But he goes up on
I don't
stage.
want to see my people like, yo, we're gonna check her out, and then right under that, he thought about it. Hot_creations_ says, I don't want to hear about her rape.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for this person to say to a comedian, I'm going to check her out. And then he was like, oh, you know, I don't want to hear nothing about her rape.
Yeah.
That's his opinion or their opinion.
Yeah.
And he's not saying, fuck her narrative.
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Not like, because rape is a serious thing, first of all.
Absolutely.
So, see, he just said, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But
and it's valid.
he's not trying to say get her out of the business. He's not trying to say take a job from her. He's trying to say, you know, let's call the clubs and block this chick that's making joke of some shit that some traumatic stuff that happened to her, which was a fucking tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then how do you make that funny? You can't make rape funny.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been told about it. You know,
make fun. Yeah,
even a joke like I said earlier, the one I said at that open mic.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with rape, but it was so kind of close in the atmosphere of that it got a response from somebody who's like, that's rape culture. Even though I'm like, how is locking a car door, you know, like that? But I mean, it could be inferred, but you got to go down that path, you know? The guy by the name, his name was Darren Knight, the one that did Southern Mama. Okay. Now he came out, I don't know if he was New Faces, but he did the variety show, went out, bombed.
It's Montreal.
Yeah.
They don't. But go ahead. I want to.
So, but because he was just an Instagram star, they wanted variety on it, right? So
Somebody said, "I don't. It's too late. You're one of us now. I don't know. I don't know. Superman Crump. I don't know. Go ahead.
That's funny. He's taking claim.
Right.
All right.
I get it.
So this dude, he went up after. So he goes up, eat shit. Obviously, Amanda Seales was there. And
eat shit means he bombed.
Bombed.
Yeah,
bad. And he goes out and he starts talking about comedy on stage, and he's like, "You shouldn't talk about race, religion, or politics in comedy." He goes on this diatribe of like what you shouldn't talk about in comedy. He's like, comedy should be fun. You shouldn't talk about real things. So he's on the opposite side of the spectrum from this girl, right? But they're both annoying as hell. Cause it's like, don't talk about comedy. Like, who are you to think like, oh, I know what comedy is, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I ain't never heard no shit like that.
Is that like a new way of thinking? Or is that like, were there any OGs?
That's for these new people. Mm-hmm. That's for this new, I've been telling jokes for 17 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm from that era where you just couldn't, like, let me ask you, how long you been telling jokes? Do you know?
Yeah, like 2.5 years.
2.5 years. You know what they used to do to comics that say they've been, you're doing stand-up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're not a comedian.
You're not
yet,
a comedian.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's not easily hurt by rejection will come back with the same attitude, like, all right,
yeah,
cool. So a 2-year comedian, that door right there in Chicago, everybody familiar with Deray Davis.
Yeah.
Deray Davis used to make, well, not even make, the old Deion Cole, B. Cole, Damon Williams, a lot of the Chicago comics, right? They're considered the vets.
Yeah.
You can even talk to them. Did you like, so, like, I'm on you guys' platform, but honestly, the guy who runs this shit, that's who you do the interview with. Yeah. Bosses talk to bosses. Bosses don't talk to underlings.
Absolutely.
That's the mentality, right?
Absolutely.
So someone that say, I've been doing comedy for 2.5 years, and then you talking to Grady who's been doing it 17, and then Grady got to deal with a motherfucker been doing comedy 30 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's on how you give the other one the respect. So you do a show with a comic that is 2.5 years now. Paul, you might have some fire shit. But in the hazing, we never see your fire shit until they put you through bullshit for 6, 7, 8 months. Like, matter of fact, they used to do shit like this. You open the door for the headliner.
Really?
There's no going back and forth. You hold the door, like, you do know we run this, right? White boys ain't letting niggas in clubs. White bookers ain't letting niggas in their club. Not, you could come in and you gonna buy a drink, get you some of that popcorn, sit your ass over there, and hopefully that we would pay attention to you to speak, not for time.
Yeah.
The stage was everything. You had to do everything right to get on the stage because it was teaching you how to, first of all, respect this bitch. This is first, then your family, the night of the show. The night of the show, that's first, then go take care of your family, right?
Yeah.
So any young comic, it's like I'm going to a city and a nigga like, yo, man, let me do a guest set. Nah. Not at all. You know why? Because you'll respect the game.
Yeah.
You will respect the game. You come in and watch. You pay to sit down. Because I don't do shows where it's like, it's not that I'm not against the comedians, the up-and-comers or the cats that's not doing shit.
Yeah.
I treat myself as if Chappelle, Kevin, the big name cats, you can't sit around me. You got to have a purpose and what's your job. So if you're going to come in, I'll have the security. Nobody comes back in the green room. I'll let the club know there's no guest sets. Practice your shit before I get here. And if you're good enough, the club will reach out. And don't tell me you funny. The streets will tell me you funny.
Yeah.
Because you'll be on the show. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you're not on the show, that doesn't mean you're not funny. It's just, timing. It could be the club don't want to pay you no money. It could be I'm coming with my own show. There's a lot of things behind the scenes, but most of the time when I be like, what's his name? Oh, this is such and such the great. How long you been on comedy? Oh, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't want nobody on my show calling themselves the great.
The great. Yeah.
You ain't there yet, nigga. You know how long it takes to be great? Michael Jordan been doing basketball he's one of the greatest. He's never said I'm the great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like when niggas like, I'm the king. Yeah, we can greet each other like, what's up, king? What's up, king? Don't you say it. You can think it. don't say it to the point where you talking to somebody that you feel like you better than, like, yo, well, I'm a king. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. But don't make it seem like we bow down like I'm the king of this shit. Like, nigga, you know, niggas shoot at the king's head. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We shoot your neck off, nigga. You don't have the crown falls if we shoot you in the neck.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So have that mentality. Julius Caesar was a great king, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they left that nigga in the street with his head slit, right? All right, then.
Yeah.
So
by his own boys.
So all that king shit, nobody give a fuck about that king shit.
How many times that we get hit up? Because you know we run a dope show, the Comedy Pop.
Yes, y'all do.
Dope show. And how many times we get hit up by people on Instagram that got 50 followers but call themselves the new king of comedy. 50 followers. Just started doing comedy this year.
Well, you know what? I'll say this, Paul. I just think that bullshit will stay.
Mm-hmm.
Reality will always live. Bullshit will stay. So it's both saying the same thing. So you need both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with a bullshit comic. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you got to eat shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would in Chicago, if you bombed on a big show. And what I mean by the brothers would go to the white boy clubs to try to get in for the weekend. And then they go to the urban rooms to pay their rent, pay their phone bill, car note, whatever.
Yeah,
that's where you go make the money.
Yeah.
You bombed on that fucking show. You don't eat for about maybe a month.
Damn.
About a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
On that style of show. Now, open mic, you'll do all type of open mics, but get bread, oh, that nigga trash.
Yeah.
Oh, you still a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, you still got to put the work in.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
We're only we only as good as our last show.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I did the pop-up show,
mm-hmm.
we was upstairs at Rush Street, patio. The chicks that I shoot pool at this, because I play pool,
mm-hmm.
and so I'm getting ready for Vegas, and then Nick reached out. He was like, "Grady, come on." I was like, "Yeah, baby, I gotta come." And I was thinking it was me and there was a couple other people.
Yeah, and they're always good lineups. Those lineups are always
y'all show's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you do new shows, you got to just make sure. A lot of people don't really give a fuck about the brand stand up. They just want to make money,
mm-hmm.
or they want to become famous, or they want to say like, "Look, nigga, if I'm doing your show, treat me like if Chappelle was here."
Yeah,
and I make people treat me. I make them, like, look, this is what I want. If you don't have it, I don't come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
cool. I don't make you. I don't want you to jump through hoops, but when you deal with Grady, I want you to understand I'm just as serious as this shit as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean I'm better than you. It's just certain shit that I will accept.
Mm-hmm.
I won't accept disrespect from comics who. It doesn't matter if you've been on TV or not.
Mm-hmm.
Don't treat it as if me and you the same. We ain't the same, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You are not funny enough yet to have an ego.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Now the new shit, which you guys deal with, is like you just said, I'm the new comedy great and you got 50 followers. Now that followers don't really mean shit to me.
Yeah.
What means to me is if he's on stage and that's his voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I pay attention to. Is that your voice? Or is this someone that you saw?
Yeah, are you just paying tribute to someone? You're paying homage.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of the thing now where, there's so many independent shows, right?
Yeah.
And that whole move of,
and you know why that is though, right?
Well, it was the move out of the, like, trying to eliminate the middleman, right?
Nah.
Or
they don't get stage time.
Yeah, that too. But what I was thinking of was more like, how like there was this big revolution. I think it started with Rogan, where they started releasing their own albums.
Okay.
So soon they started releasing their own albums, like on their own. Like they didn't go through a distributor, go through anything. So now all of a sudden that mentality of like, well, I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna rent out this restaurant instead of doing a show at a club.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is
That's
a double.
good.
I feel like it is a double-edged sword though, because like you said, now those people don't got to put in the time. I have homies that just started doing comedy. They're a year in.
Okay.
They've already done the OR. They've already done
what?
But it was on an independent show. They've already done. I mean, when I was a year in, I got to do the haha. And I did a longer set than the headliner because they were like, well, you drove further than the headliner, so we'll put you on for longer than the headliner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I had no business doing a year in. But They put me in. They were
Nowhere
like,
near.
exactly. So they put me in. They let me do that.
Yeah.
So the problem is like, and I've been lucky enough that I've had some headliners kind of take me under their wing.
Okay. Like who?
But one of them I can't name because it's there. But like people like Bruce Jingles or like Gene Pompa or like these kind of guys. Dante Chang's thrown me some stage time.
Cool.
But
I don't know him, but I know of him.
yeah, he's a
but
good
I know
guy.
Bruce and I know Pompa.
Yeah,
Well, I know of Pompa.
But you best believe that these guys are like, they're still that old school mentality of you got to put in your time, you got to do that.
Time, man.
And I mean, how many times I got on a phone call like, yo, you got to come over and fix my printer. And in any other situation, it's weird, but I'm like, no, I owe that training, that exposure to them. So, okay, yeah, I'm going to be the opener.
Yeah.
You know, but nobody wants to be the opener anymore. They're like,
well, that hurts you too.
Mm-hmm.
Not you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying what hurts is someone saying that they don't want to handle business with, I don't want to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's look at the narrative of how stand-up is, okay? You supposed to get an opportunity due to your thoughts. You wrote down your thoughts. You figured out a way to format them in a set, go on stage. Luckily, knock on wood, you get an opportunity to perform on stage with your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see if the people that don't even know you, they can relate.
Yeah.
Laughter is how you say? I want to say it the right way. Relativity.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be, the reason why it's funny when I do the banana joke, you can relate to Grady. You can be like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
You be like, ugh, I hate them, right? So when we as comics, what's wrong with starting? See, everybody has this, and that's because of like the parents that are on these, dealing with their children, like, we're going to celebrate the winner and second place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, he's trash.
Yeah.
He lost.
Yeah.
We don't have to say you trash, but you lost, nigga. Don't nobody care about second place.
Yeah.
So what happened is a whole group of people from second place said, fuck that. Our voice needs to be heard.
Yeah.
So there's really no winner or loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when you have someone saying, hey, I don't like I'm not an opener. And I'm like, well, what are you?
Mm-hmm.
On my show, what you think you're doing?
Exactly.
On his show, what you think you're doing?
Exactly.
Matter of fact, let's just keep it a buck. No comedian owns the club.
Mm-hmm.
That's the headliner.
Mm-hmm.
The club itself, the brick and mortar itself.
Yeah.
It's not you.
Yeah.
Even if you go to another venue, you ain't smart enough to go get a small business loan and do a pop-up, rent out a studio and build your own comedy club.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you can set a business account aside, get your LLC, and then say, fuck it, I need a small business loan because I want to open up my own comedy club. And then put your name on whatever comedy club.
Yeah.
And then you host or house all of the comics across the nation, and
Yeah.
But nobody thinks like that, though.
I mean, just the manager cares more like, he's like, it's more about the food, the sodas and the food than
That's
what
what
you're
they're there for.
but
Food and beverage is what they call it.
Food and beverage, yeah. But then it's like you walk in with like that mentality of like, and it's always good to have confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about like the alpha male, like have confidence,
Okay.
but don't make it be outrageous.
Yeah. And I think people, when they see my set or when they see, because you've seen me perform before. I don't act like a dick. I'm cool as shit with everybody.
Yeah.
If you a butthole, I won't deal with you. I can't argue with you because I might slap the shit out you. Because I don't, in this business, I've held a zero casualty. I do not fucking play when it comes to what I do on stage and how I'm perceived off stage. So, and I have a female as a manager. She dealing with a gorilla. She dealing with a real silverback. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, Paul?
Yeah.
So when you dealing with a fucking gorilla, they like, yo, you manage Grady?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's a father. He's a father. Well, he takes care of his mother. He has sisters. His family adores him. They love him. He loved them. He'll give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah.
He'll help anybody.
Yeah.
But because of my voice deeper than yours, and then I get on the stage and I'm saying, you a pussy ass nigga if you eat hot dogs. from the tip, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's one something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now when I get off stage, we ain't talking that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just go home, make my bread, let me go pay my rent, let me go take care of my babies.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So people they're looking for a reason to dislike you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually the people that used to try it. And it's a word that my boy Corey Holcomb say. Everybody loves Corey. You see the smile you got on your face?
Yeah.
Marginal talented people. Marginal talented people are the ones running shit. Always remember that.
Yeah.
When you go and you say, man, I want to go to this club, I want to go to this club, who you're dealing with a person that's like, I want to try to do your show. Well, how can I get booked on your show? You know the dumbest shit I done heard a motherfucker say, yeah, we booked up for the whole year. Who is we?
Yeah.
You you don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Watch what I do.
Yeah.
I really did this. I really did this gangsta ass shit I did when I moved here. So I asked one of the comics, I said, yo, man, how does it to get on the show? And what was it? Was it Refried Fridays? Refried? They used to do the improv.
They used to do it at the improv. Yeah.
So everybody know Dove Davidoff.
Mm-hmm.
If you in that. And then Kevin Shea.
Yeah.
Asian comic from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, love them.
Daryl Wright.
Yeah.
These are my dudes.
Yeah.
So I said, yo, man, so they saw me, Ian Edwards. Everybody's like, yo, I was like, man, I want to try to get on the show. The dude was like, yeah, I ain't never heard of you. What's your name? I told him, I'm Grady from Chicago. Ooh, okay, cool. He was like, who's this guy? But he didn't hear that I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
So he come, Dove. What up, Grady? Hey, who is that? Right in his face.
Yeah.
You know him? Maybe I put this nigga on your show.
Man.
And so he had to, I had to show him, like, I'm not gonna dish you, but don't ever make it your business to shit on somebody because you're gonna see them.
Yeah.
You're going to see them.
Yeah.
And then on top of those same 4 guys I named, here they come. Hey, he cool? They talking to me. I'm like, yo, is he cool?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what's wrong? I was like, Daryl, he with you? And then Kev, he's like, oh, Grady, you doing the show? I just looked at him. Like, you see that? Do your fucking homework. Mm-hmm. Say my name is such and such. Yo, man, I don't know you. Is there any reference? Who on my flyers can I go to and say, is this guy cool? This before social media. This is 2008. Mm-hmm. And these guys are like, oh, that's Grady. I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do your fucking homework. First of all, people don't want to think. Yeah. People hate thinking.
They want to flex that power that they got. That little power that they got. They're trying to flex it.
And the guys, they was like, well, man, matter of fact, throw them up tonight. I said, nah, we'll wait.
Damn.
I didn't do the show.
Yeah.
I just did it right there to insult him. Mm-hmm. That was the point. That I
make him look dumb.
I wanted to insult him right then and there.
Yeah.
Because the guys that he looked up to, here they come. First thing they do, oh shit. And they not like handshaking, like, what's up, Grady? They hugging, like, what's up, brother? You know what? He with you? Because I'm going to insult you. Now I was like, okay, you shouldn't. These 4 guys should have never walked in here. Now it's an issue. Yeah. Now I'm going to offend you with this shit. And they was like, oh, and then the booker, she comes in like, hey, Grady, because she saw me do D-Ray's night. Yeah. And so I was like, yo, is it so when you do Fridays? And I'm like, oh, well, they do a monthly show or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, well, how do y'all do it? Yeah. He's like, well, man, send me a veil. I said, nah, man. Tell me what date you want me to do. I'm not sending your fucking avails, nigga. You ain't no club. What is wrong with you? Where you from? You know, from Connecticut. I said, knock it off, man. You know, Bridgeport, Connecticut was the first murder capital, nigga. Relax. Did you know that? He's like, see, you ain't from fucking Connecticut, nigga. Yeah. So it's always people just, they think comics are dumb. Mm-hmm. They think we fucking jesters, right? When I first started, you had to read the comedy Bible. Mm-hmm. You had to know how long comedy been in play. Comedy been around at that time when I started 17 years ago. Comedy came out. I figured, had to do the research. It came out in the 1400s. 1452. Mm-hmm. That's how long comedy has been around. Yeah. So I'm not gonna diss a comedian who doesn't know that. You just show them how to educate. Yo, let me show you. You learn what you want to do is business, right? Most comics that come from where they come from, they move to LA. Most of these niggas want to be on TV. They want to be famous. They don't want to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm chasing funny.
Yeah.
I want to be a pioneer. When I get on that stage, I want to impute that thought like, yo, Grady took us on a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was fun. He was a man. He showed vulnerability. He showed sensitivity. He showed business etiquette. He showed how to be an actual human. Fear run the world.
Yeah.
Love and respect, that runs out. Fear, that always stay with you. Because if a nigga afraid of you, he'll kill you.
Yeah. I heard that. You never want to fight a person that's afraid of you.
If you're afraid, he's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Because he's afraid that you're going to embarrass him.
Yeah.
Most people can't walk around with the embarrassment.
Yeah.
That's why they invented social media.
Yeah.
So chumps be like, well, I'm afraid of Paul. And I'm like, yeah, Paul's shirt ugly. And he's like, hashtag NASA.
Hey,
Get the fuck
just because my NASA shirt, my $10 Target shirt. All right.
Right. And this one is $3 and shit. I don't know. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? But it's, comedy is just what it should be. We just here to have fun.
Absolutely. And it came full circle, man. This has been a dope show.
Yeah, dude.
We're already out of time. But you know what? So normally what we do is I got some fast fire questions that I shoot your way.
Sure.
But I just want to ask you one of them. I'm just going to ask you one of them because I want to hear what your thoughts are. And obviously, I just love talking.
What time is it?
3:43.
Let's ask me all 5 of them.
Okay, I'll ask you all 5.
Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to break the format.
No, absolutely. All right. So the first, like I said, these are short little questions. So
Talk to me.
First one is, what smell reminds you of home?
What smell reminds me of home? Like Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh,
like you just smell it and right there you're back in Chicago.
Fabric softener.
Fabric softener, all right.
Yeah, fabric softener. When I smell, because I when I do laundry, I'm just, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's remind me of the crib.
That makes sense. All right. If you could have coffee with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Nat Turner.
Nat Turner.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Dead or alive? Can it be 2 people?
It could be 2 people.
My dad and Nat Turner.
Nice. What would you talk about?
Oh man, shit. My dad, Why You Leave?
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't got over that. Not that he left, he died through aneurysm.
Wow.
So at home.
Mm-hmm.
So never got over that. Yeah. I think I'll never get over it.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a show.
How old were you?
It's 2016.
Oh, so this is
this is real new.
Recent, yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's him telling me to talk about it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still, I don't think I'm over it.
Yeah.
I was putting a show together in Oakland, and we secured the venue, and my cousin called like, "Yo, you probably." Well, my sister called that Wednesday, and then I was like, "Is he gonna be cool?" It's like, "Yeah, you cool." I was like, "Well, I got a show Saturday, so y'all let me know if I can come home. I'll come home." So then I got that call that Friday. We had just put the bread down, the rest of it, and they were just like, "You got to come home." And I'm like, "What's going on?" So I called my manager. I had my middle son living out here at the time, and then we had to go get them from school.
Yeah.
I flew out the same day. I got to Chicago 11, like around 11, and then we got to the hospital around 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And my youngest sister, she didn't go back in the hospital until I arrived.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all walked in, waiting room full of people, family, the ICU room that he was in, warm as shit. It was the hottest ever, but nobody was sweating, but it was warm as a fuck. He was like, "Damn, it's warm as shit."
Yeah.
So, and it was a couple days for my birthday. So my birthday is May 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And May 6th.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
and you never, like that kind of stuff, especially you never see come. My grandpa, who was like like to this, the funniest guy. He was the one that taught me to be like charming.
Okay.
You know, like he could talk to anybody, and I wanted to be like that.
Yeah.
He was at a doctor's appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctor was like, "All right, you're good to go." And he just said, "I don't feel so good," and had a stroke right there, right in front of the doctor, as the doctor was saying, "You're good to go." But I bring it up because just a couple days ago, they were cleaning out some stuff over there, and he was from Pittsburgh. My grandpa's from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So they gave they just had a bunch of stuff, and they took out like just a couple like these like baseball cards.
Oh,
And
wow.
and all of a sudden it all hit me. I used to, when I was younger, if I got a pirate, I'd put it off to the side, like for him.
Oh,
So all of a sudden they just gave me this little stack of pirates that I completely forgot about. Yo, I was just like now,
Yeah,
like
you
just
feel
in
it.
because I was just like,
you feel it.
damn, that's been like 5 years.
Yeah,
you know,
feel it. Yeah,
you feel it.
I didn't. I guess when I touched him and I was just talking to him,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing was, all he need to do is hear my voice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and I'm talking to him, and he got the tube in him and all that type of stuff. So then, I think after that, it was just they wanted to see could he do it.
Yeah.
He didn't pull through. 4 minutes later, he was
Wow.
cold, stiff, and
But you got the goodbye in.
I don't think it was a goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
A goodbye to me is you say it back.
Mm.
That's my version of a goodbye. So if I did have a conversation with him,
Mm-hmm.
I just, tell him I love him. Like, yo, man, I'm you now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm you now. Now I'm you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then Nat Turner, it would just be like, I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what equality, not being equal, I understand what I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So that would be,
Yeah.
my dad and Nat Turner. That's
That
what
was
I want
great.
to talk to.
That was great. All right, I got one more for you.
Sure.
So, if you could give, this is barely starting out in comedy, Grady. If you could, like, for some reason, just send like a letter back in time, but just give yourself one piece of advice.
Mm-hmm.
What would you give yourself? What piece of advice would you give yourself to like you just starting out?
Oh, man. Don't be afraid of the process.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go through the process. The tough shit helps you be better. It helps you be better. You got to go through the tough shit. Every no doesn't mean that you're not worthy of that opportunity. It just might mean that you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Or this show is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But just be cool with dealing with the process. You're going to get more no's than yes. But when you get a yes, take full advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Take full advantage. So if they say, yo, you're going to do 7 minutes, do exactly 6 and 43 minutes, and the rest, that's my time. Get off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just do exactly what you told, but that's the process.
Yeah.
Show up on time. That's the process. If they say we don't allow smoke, drink, do just that. And also be the best you.
Mm-hmm.
You can have certain things that would send that energy your way, and fuck with who fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing. Fuck with who fucks with you. Who want to see you do well. You can't be the smartest in the room. You're not growing.
Yeah.
If you're the smartest in the room, there's no need for you to even be there.
Yeah.
Be around people that's way better than you. Be around people that's going to challenge you and make you grow. And that's part of the process.
Yeah. Well, Ray Grady.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for doing
Appreciate
the podcast.
it, Paul. Pop-up comedy show. Yes, sir.
Where can people find you? Social media?
At Grady Comedy, Instagram, Twitter, Ray Grady, Facebook, RayGrady.com, website. Yeah.
Cool. And if you guys want to follow me at the Paul Antonio on everything, and also October 24th, I got a dope show in Pomona.
Oh.
So O'Donovan's Pub, the tap room upstairs. Last time we packed it out. This time we got Tamara Katan headlining.
Okay.
It's going to be a dope show.
And I'll be at the J Spot, J. Anthony Brown's Club this Tuesday. So yeah, come on out. And what's that? It's in Westchester, LA.
Yeah.
Aviation in Manchester.
Yeah.
So I'll see y'all, man. Ray
All right,
Grady.
man. Ray Grady.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.